welcome to the Monday, November 14th, 2022 meeting of the Martinsville Common Council. Meeting is hereby called to order. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Ann Miller,
Present.
Bill Deckard Sr., Bill Deckard II,
Present.
Jim Wisco,
Present.
Susie Lips,
Present.
Ben Mahan,
Present.
Josh Barron,
Present.
Mayor Wendell.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like for you to stand, and I'm going to ask Ben Meredith to come forward and offer prayer, and then we will remain standing for our pledge.
Join me in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for all things you've given us, Lord. We thank you for the blessings that our country is able to enjoy. We thank you for this upcoming holiday season. I ask that you would give our community and our country a heart of thankfulness and love for one another, Lord, and that we would continue to work together. Father, I ask that you be at the city council tonight, that we ask for your guidance and guidance during this meeting, that your will would be done, that the best decisions would be made, Lord, and that the conversations would be fruitful. Lord, just lead, guide, and direct in all that we do here tonight. In your name we ask it. Amen.
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Ben. You each received copies of the minutes from the meeting on Monday, October 24th. Are there any corrections, additions, or questions regards the minutes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion regarding the minutes.
I motion that the minutes be approved for October 24th, 2022. Second.
Been a motion made and seconded to approve the minutes as presented from the Monday, October 24th meeting. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. We need to conduct a public hearing this evening regarding Ordinance 2022-44. So without objection, the council will be in recess for the purpose of conducting a public hearing. And at this time, we will call to order the public hearing in regards to the Ordinance 2022-44 additional appropriation. Clerk, two, or you?
Ben's going to present that.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. So before you tonight, for the first reading is additional appropriation ordinance 2022-0044. I didn't press it.
It's down, I'm sorry. Try it now.
Alright, can you hear me now? The old Verizon function. So before tonight's additional appropriation 2022-0044, the reason for this request is we normally receive the invoicing from the county twice a year. Our second half invoice from last year did not arrive till this calendar year, so the monies, so in essence, we'll be paying this invoice 3 times this year. So not really a financial difference, it just shifted from 2021 to 2022. So that's the reason for the request tonight.
Are there any questions for Mr. Meredith?
So this basically is just paying something that it's like paying something we have to pay all the time anyway, right?
Yes, this
Recurring
is
expense?
this is for the 911 dispatch center.
Okay,
So normally we get the second invoice second half of the year. Last year, there's an oversight on their end. We did not receive it till this calendar year. So we do owe them the money. It just basically messes with our budget. So.
I make a motion that we pass ordinance number 2020.
It's first reading.
This is first reading in public hearing, so we'll get to that in a second. But thank you. Are any other questions for Mr. Meredith from the council? Seeing none at this time, I would open up for any questions from the public regarding the public hearing. Anyone in the public? Okay. Seeing no public comments at this time, the public hearing for ordinance 2022-44, the additional appropriation will be closed. And without objection, the common council is back in session. So for our first reading tonight of ordinance 2022-44, additional appropriations, as you just heard from Mr. Toomey, Mr. Toomey.
Sorry, Ben.
Mr. Merida, whoopsie. This is the first reading on this, and since this is the first reading, there's no action to be taken. The second reading consideration will be the ordinance will be on November 28th, our next meeting. We also have a first reading of ordinance 2022-45, the expenditure of Fund 199, American Rescue Plan Act. Mr. Coffey.
This is a resolution for the council to consider. Again, this is first reading this evening for for the introduction and your consideration, and it'll be put on the agenda for the November 28th meeting for second reading. This is for the expenditures, the monies that we received pursuant to the American Rescue Plan Act. As you can see, the city's plan that we would ask the council approval is for the extension of the sewer infrastructure to the Grand Valley, well, actually from the Grand Valley subdivision, extending to the south and east to provide for the sewer extension to the area where we're going to have new subdivision for housing starting next year. So that's the plan. That's what we've got budgeted for that particular project. The project itself will take a little bit more money than what we have here for the ARPA funds, but what we have for ARPA funds are $2,644,511.88. So that's what's in the fund. That would be what we're asking the council to approve. The expenditure, again, be on the infrastructure, providing the extension of sewer to the area for the new homes, new housing additions.
Are there any questions for Mr. Coffey?
Where exactly will we tap into there and extend from the current existing sewer?
I think that's a question for Mr. Oakes.
Tap into the existing sewer behind the Ford dealership.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Again, this is the first reading of this ordinance, so the second reading will be at the November 28th meeting. We also have another first reading of ordinance 2022-47, amendment to City Code Chapter 70. Mr. Coffey.
This is a draft, and I had a lot of help. I want to thank Councilman Wisco for providing this. He helped me on this particular ordinance. Again, this is an introduction, first reading, and it would be an amendment to our Martinsville Code concerning the loitering, sleeping, or presence in public places after hours. So basically encourage the council to take a look at this. If you have any concerns, suggestions, I would ask that you please contact me prior to the next meeting. Any changes you'd like to see in here so I can make those. This is timely in that we're getting ready to open our new venue up the street. It's also timely in that we've had the need to have an ordinance such as this over the last probably 3 or 4 months in the city. And this will help, I think, the police in enforcement of people being in certain public places after hours. And so take a look at that. And again, if you have any comments or corrections, changes you'd like to see made, please call me.
Any questions for Mr. Coffey this evening?
No.
Again, this is the first reading of this ordinance, so no further actions taken at this time. The public hearing and second reading will be, for consideration, will be take place on November 28th. Okay. Next on the agenda tonight is consideration of resolution 2022-26, approving the petition regarding the lease of certain facilities. And Adam from Barnes and Thornburg will address that.
Thank you, Mayor. Adam Sturwald with Barnes and Thornburg, serving as bond counsel to the city for this project. So this is for the new police station to be constructed at the old clerk treasurer's office. So prior to tonight's meeting, the city received a petition from 50 property owners, taxpayers, that was certified by the county auditor requesting that the city consider a lease with the existing building corporation to finance and construct a new police station. So tonight, where we are in the process is you've received the petitions, the resolution tonight accepts those petitions, preliminarily approves the form of the lease. A public hearing will be had at your next meeting on approving the form of the lease. Then after that, there will be a notice of execution, allowing anybody to object to the process and the validity of the lease. And then after that, the bonds can be sold and then the new police station constructed. So right now, the max project size is $5,815,000. The max lease is 20 years. And the annual max tax payment of $575,000 each year. But once the bonds are sold and we have the final pricing, that number will be adjusted to match the bond debt service schedule. I know that was a lot of information that I just threw out there. Is there any questions about this resolution or the process or the lease?
Thank you, Adam.
The other thing, on the building corporation, you guys will need to appoint the new building corporation members.
Yes, I got three names for you.
Okay.
It was just three, correct?
Yes, just three.
Okay. Okay. Well, there's no further questions for Adam. I would entertain a motion regarding Resolution 2022-26.
I motion that we approve the petition regarding the lease of certain facilities.
Been motion made and seconded to approve the resolution approving the petition regarding the lease of certain facilities. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wisco. Prior to tonight's meeting, you were given a copy of the claims. Are there any questions or comments?
No.
Then I would entertain a motion regarding the claims.
I motion that we approve the claims as presented.
The motion made, is there a second?
Second.
The motion made and seconded to approve the claims as presented. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Are there any comments from the council tonight? No one has anything tonight?
No, sir, thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Just an announcement that all city offices and services will be closed on Thursday and Friday. Oh, are there any public comments this evening? Okay. Again, all city offices and services will be closed on Thursday and Friday, November 24th and 25th, in observance of the Thanksgiving holiday. For those who normally have their trash picked up on Thursday, it will be picked up on Wednesday, the 23rd. For those whose trash is picked up on Friday, it will be picked up on Monday, the 28th. Also, would like to remind everybody of the inaugural WCBK Christmas Parade on Saturday, September 26th, beginning downtown here at 5:30. There'll be parking restrictions along the route. The route's going to go down East Washington Street to home, and then it'll end at the park. So I know Debbie Keister has put a lot of work into this, and a lot of planning. So if you have the opportunity, I think it'd be something you'll want to see. Another comment I just want to make as far as the leaves around the city. The street department's been working extra hours. They worked each evening last week, they're gonna work each evening this week, and probably, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, trying to get it caught up. Just seems like there's an awful lot of leaves this year, but, you know, for the citizens, be patient, we will get around there, and we may be running the leaf suckers till end of December. So, if there's nothing else before the council, we stand adjourned.